If someone says it's really tough for them, let's take that and say, okay, it's tough, rather than saying, yeah, it's tough, but everybody else gets through it, and you should be able to get through it. I think we should let people let emotions out. What we try to do is try to, like you said, suppress, and you get the word depress from trying to shut something down, and we shouldn't do. We shouldn't do. I remember someone telling me about a book about their children, and this is what helped them. They said it was a great book, in terms of obviously the idea behind it, and they said, something about big boys don't cry or something like that on those lines.
That sounds
But
familiar. Yeah.
yeah, but the book was about letting, especially men, boys, let the emotions out. You hear the terms in it, oh, you're a man or you're a boy, you shouldn't be crying, you shouldn't be showing emotions, it's a sign of weakness and all this stuff. But if people start bottling emotions up, it might come out in the wrong way when it is tapped, and they might not know how to deal with it. But if they're brought up saying it's okay, as a human being, forget about male or female and how you need to deal with it. As a human being, it's okay. We go through emotions,
Yeah.
and that's how you um learn how to not cope with it, but you learn how to what's the word I'm looking for? Like when it comes to how to deal with it. It's like a situation. If you've never been in a fight, you don't know what you're expecting.
Yeah.
So you don't know if you have to defend yourself or you need to go fighting. You don't know to run away. You need to shout. What do you do? And you go through your first, say, street ball or a fight in school and stuff like that. They're like, oh, okay, well, it may have been really bad, or maybe someone might say, oh, it's not that bad than I thought. Now I know next time someone attacks me, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But then if you're not taught those kind of mechanisms at young age, that what, something traumatic happens, how do I deal with it? Then later on in their life, they might find it more difficult to deal with anything, not just obviously fighting,
Yeah.
work, life, relationships,
Yeah.
friendship, religion, trying to find spirituality. So yeah.
Well, and it's a good point because it's almost a counterproductive thing because if you because I went through this absolutely. My father is a very masculine, powerful man. Yeah, doesn't show his emotions much. In and obviously as a son looking up to my father, I naturally wanted to emulate him, but because of the challenges I faced from a young age, and I didn't go down the path of being feeling strong and confident. I had anxiety and started to get physical symptoms since I was about 16. Probably actually earlier than that, about 14-ish was when I first went to the doctors. I was very tired all the time, started to have joint pain. But these to me were manifestations of uh, mental issues coming even before, which was having a knock on effect in my body. Because we were talking about suppression of emotions. Well, if you suppress it, it still has to go somewhere, and
Yeah.
where it ends up is manifesting as physical symptoms. That's
Yeah.
why the term IBS comes up all the time in people, and it's such a generalized term, irritable bowel syndrome, which means it doesn't actually say what it is. It just means that something is causing the bowel to be irritable. That could be 1,000 things. But anxiety, tension, anger tends to come from that area of the body. That's where it seems to be like not saying it's like a physical energy as such, but it is like, if you feel anxious, you feel it in your gut. That's why you got those sayings like, I got a knot. I feel like I got a knot tied in my gut. It's
Or
there.
when you're nervous, you got butterfly feelings.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
feel it in your stomach, and then of course, so that does give you that physical feeling of affecting you. But it created this sort of idea then that I was weak, and I shouldn't show weakness, and that I shouldn't say what I thought was true. I was too scared to, that I'd get bullied, etc. But it creates a downward spiral because you want to speak what you think is true, and then you create all these sort of fabrications in the mind of why not to do it. You get rejected by someone else. You'll be seen as weak if you cry. all around basically trying to feel connected to other people and love and accepted. Like
Mm.
that's the thing, isn't it? And when you were saying about the sort of the boys don't cry thing, I actually think it's not about not crying. It's not about not showing that you're angry. It's it's being honest and just accepting that you feel these emotions and you're willing to express it to someone else, and then come what may. Because you can have that. I think the fear that can come from people is you're going to be seen as being lacking discipline or lacking self control if you get angry at something, and then you'll be judged for it. When in reality, if you're angry at something, if you choose to express it without it boiling over into a rage because you've suppressed it for so many years, most likely it'll come out quite assertive rather than aggressive.
Mm.
I think that's like a key distinction between the two. Because I noticed in times in my life where I've suppressed, and then it came out as a rage. It's like 0 to 120 miles an hour instant. There's no buffer.
Yeah.
It can just build, and then boom, and that's where it comes out. It's kind of similar going back to that. Someone just putting their mug on the coffee table a bit too loudly, and you've just been building. It takes that one thing to come out and snap. But of
Yeah.
course, the ideal is to not even get to that bursting point in the first place. It's
Yeah.
to express it first,
It's that
and
road
it
rage,
comes
isn't
up.
it?
Yeah, it's to express it first as soon as possible and have that open conversation. Even
Mm.
now in my mind, I'm thinking like in a relationship, it seems like it's weakness if you say to your partner, especially as a man, say, look, what you did the other day really annoyed me. It really did, and then my mind is going, yeah, you shouldn't say that. You don't need to say that. Just get on with it, sort of thing. But reality is, you're not expressing what you truly think, feel, and so
Yeah.
by doing that, you think, oh, if I don't express it, I'll be more manly, I'll be more masculine. But actually, you just become more and more annoyed. And then the immature side comes out, as in, because you've allowed it to get to the point where you go into rage.
Yeah.
Or you go in the reverse, where you implode. So you go
Yeah.
from feeling like you're you get that suppression feeling that comes in, but you don't even you become passive then, and you try and
Yeah.
you make up a rationale of, oh, it's better if I don't say something because it won't offend someone else. It's better if I don't say something because otherwise I might get more flack for it.